butter, which is subject number 2, right? So these two are the part of one breakfast, right? So bread and butter, you do not eat bread separately and butter separately, right? So bread and butter is a tasty breakfast because they are combined together. So the red color, cars. Now here, the red color is not important. Cars is important. The red color, cars are less. So red color is not less, but cars are less. A lot of plural subject, plural verb. Alright? Simple. A group of birds. Now, a group of birds. Birds here is plural. So what verb is going to come, children? Plural verb. So here, men is men, which is plural. 3 men in a boat, right? So this is the name of a novel, right? This is a single book. Hello students, today we are going to go ahead with the basic topic of your course, BITS course, that is subject verb agreement. Okay? So, subject verb agreement. Let me first of all tell you what does this, right? Subject verb agreement or subject verb concord, because the word concord itself means agreement, right? Now, what is the meaning of this? Children, when we frame a sentence, we start the sentence with subject. Now, what is subject? Subject is the name of person, place, animal or thing, right? And the rest of the part of the sentence is as predicate, right? So, according to the topic or what the topic suggests is the subject should agree with the verb, okay? Now, what do you mean by this agreement? If I say, I is teaching English, is this sentence grammatically correct? No, the sentence is grammatically wrong because I will come with am. Is doesn't suit with I, right? So, it is very important that the subject should agree with the verb, right? Like she is teaching English, right? They are going to the market, right? Because they is plural, so the plural verb will come along with it, okay? So, she is because she is singular and singular verb will accompany she. So, to frame a correct sentence, correct subject should be used with correct verb or suitable subject should be used with suitable verb, right? So this is the meaning of this topic, that subject should agree with the verb, right? Verb, main verb or helping verb, right? So this is the meaning of this topic. Subject verb agreement means that the verb in a sentence must agree with the subject in terms of number and person, right? So this is what I told you, that if we have singular subject, we should have singular verb, and if we have plural subject, we should have plural verb. The problem is not, children, when we have single subject and verb. The problem occurs when we have multiple subjects and then we have single verb. So the verb will go with which subject or which what subject, right? So this is how we are going to study that when we have more than one subject in a sentence, the verb will go with which subject, okay? So this is what I am going to teach you. Okay, so here we are going to go ahead with rule number 1. Rule number 1 says that a singular subject requires a singular verb while a plural subject requires a plural verb. However, a singular subject takes a plural verb in the subjunctive mood, right? So what do you mean by subjunctive mood, children? Subjunctive mood is imagination. As I told you, while I was explaining the definition to you, I told you that singular verb, singular subject will take singular verb, plural subject will take plural verb. But if you are imagining something, right? For example, if I were a Superman. Now here, Superman, I am just imagining to be Superman. So when you are in your imagination, then you use plural verb with singular subject. Okay, let us see few examples over here, children. The first example says the cat jumps on the table. Here the cat is singular and the word jumps is also singular, right? So singular subject, singular verb, right? Now let us see the second example. The dogs bark loudly. Here the word dogs, that is the subject, is plural, so our verb will also be plural, right? So here bark is plural. Children, one more thing I would like to tell you, that whenever we put s or es in verb, it is singular form of verb, right? So here in the first example, we saw that it is jumps. So s is used in verb, right? So here it is singular verb, right? And then we have bark, where we are not putting s or es, which suggests that it is a plural verb. Now let us see subjunctive, sentences, right? If she were a bird. Now here, she is a subject which has been used with plural verb were, right? Were is used with plural subjects. But why have we used here with the singular subject, children? Because it's an imagination. The girl is imagining herself to be a bird, right? Now that's how we use plural verb with singular subject. Similarly, if I were the president, right? So being a president is not completely imagination, but here someone is imagining himself or herself to be a president, right? So in imagination, we put what, children? We put were. So I, which is supposed to be put with was, but here we have used were because it was imagining. Okay, so singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. But if the sentence is showing some imagination, then we are going to use singular subject and plural verb. This is our first rule, right? Let us proceed towards rule number 2. When two singular nouns combine to refer to a single person or object, then the verb is singular. For example, children, like we have a poet and singer is coming. Now here there is one person who is poet also and singer also, right? So here when we are referring just to a single person, then the verb will also be singular, right? Now let us see the first example, the headmaster and president of the school. So the person who is headmaster is also the president, right? So they are not two people, children. It is just a single person, right? And how do we get to know this, that we are talking just about a single person? Because here, children, I have used the before the first, that is headmaster, first subject, headmaster, but the is not used before president, right? It shows that it is a single person. But let us see the alternative of it, the headmaster and the president. Now here, when I'm putting the before both the subjects, then I am referring to two subjects, and hence I'm going to use plural verb. Okay, let us see, the headmaster and president of the school is coming, because only one person is coming who is headmaster also and president also. The headmaster and the president of the school are coming. Here there are two people, one is headmaster and one is president, right? So there are two different people. And how do we get to know this? Because the is put between before both the subject, right? So that's why there are two people, right? Let us see, a black and white horse is my favorite. So here we can see that I have put a before just first subject, black. Can you see any a before white, which is the second subject? No, right? So here there is only one horse, that is black also and white also, and hence is has been used. Okay, now a black and a white. Now because this article a has been put before both the subjects, a white and a black, it makes it two horses, right? This article makes the subjects two, right? That is one horse which is black and one horse which is white, right? That's why are has been used. Okay, so what I want to explain is that there might be two subjects, that is subject 1 and subject 2, but maybe we are just talking about single person and the article is put in front of only one subject, it denotes that there is a single person we are talking about, or single animal we are talking about, or a single place we are talking about, right? And hence we use singular verb. And similarly, if we put article before both the subjects, like subject 1 and subject 2, article the has been put. So what verb is going to be used, children? That is plural. All right. So this was our rule number 2. Let us proceed with rule number 3. When an adjective is used as a noun, that is we start the sentence with the word the, and then we used adjective, and then the verb will be plural. Let us learn this rule with the help of few examples, children. The rich are often targeted by thieves, right? So here, rich is adjective which is used as a subject, right? So the rich, because we are covering all the rich people over here, hence the verb used is plural, that is are, right? Let us see few more examples. The young are full of energy and enthusiasm, right? So here we are talking, not just talking about one young person, rather we are talking about many young people, right, who are full of energy and enthusiasm, right? So maybe this adjective is used for singular, but because it is starting with the, it is covering larger, the larger unit, right, like larger number of people. So hence the verb used will be plural. Let us see a few more examples. The poor are not always dishonest, right? So here poor might be used for singular, but because it is accompanied with the word the poor makes it plural, right? So we are covering many poor people over here, and hence the verb used will be plural. The poor are not always dishonest. The elderly are wise and experienced. So here we are not talking about one elderly person, but rather we are talking about many elderly people, right? So the elderly are wise and experienced, right? Okay, so let us proceed. We've already covered 3 rules. Let us proceed with the 4th rule, okay? Okay, when a title or a name with a plural form refers to a singular subject, a singular verb is used, okay? So children, you might have heard about a novel, 3 Men in a Boat, right? So here men is men, which is plural, 3 men in a boat, right? So this is the name of a novel, right? But this is a single book. So maybe sometimes the titles are in plural, but because it is a title of a single book or a single movie or something else, that's why it takes singular verb. Many a times such questions are going to come where titles will be followed by verb. How would you recognize that it is a title? Either it will be in italics, okay, italic font, right? Or the first letter of all the words of that title would be in capital, right? So this is how we are going to recognize that yes, it is a title of a book or any place or something, maybe some or any other program or something. So when title is in plural, the verb will always be used. Let us see a few examples. The Beatles was a legendary band. So basically the Beatles over here is, they're not talking about Beatles, right? But they're talking about the title of the band or the name of a band. Maybe the title is in plural, but yes, it is a single band that they're talking about. That's why the verb used here is singular. The Beatle was is a singular verb, right? So United States, right? So here United States is one place, right? So that's why what they have used is instead of are. States, right? States is plural, but because it is the name of one place, that's why which verb has been used is, right? The Rolling Stones is known for their energetic performances, right? Maybe the Rolling Stones is the name of some dance group, right? Maybe a singing group or something like that, right? So they are known for their enthusiastic performances, but it is a name of a band. Let me tell you one thing. many a times they won't put the name of the title in inverted commas as well, just to confuse you all, right? So you have to judge it whether it is a name of a, if it's a title or name of some group, right? So here, though I have put them in inverted commas, but they might come without inverted commas as well, right? So you have to understand that, and then accordingly I have told you how would you recognize that. Either it is going to come in italic font, or it is going to be in, all the letters of the title are going to be in capital. You can see that the T capital, rolling, that is R capital, and stones, again S capital. So even if it is not in inverted commas, you need to recognize that yes, it is the name of some title. All right, let us proceed with the next rule. Okay, so subjects connected by each or every always take singular verb. This is a common mistake that students usually do. If you are using each and every, or you're beginning the sentence with each and every, the verb will always be singular, right? Let us see a few examples. Every student has a textbook, right? So here, what are we doing is, here when the sentence is beginning with every, we have taken subject also singular, that is student. Every students? No, it is incorrect, right? So every student. Then next it is has, right? So we have not used have. Maybe we are talking about every. So, individual we are talking here about. So that's why the word has been used. Let me tell you, have stands for plural, whereas has stands for singular, right? So here, every student has a textbook. Here, the sentence is beginning with every. The subject following is student, which is singular, and hence verb also will be singular. Each cat was fed this morning. Each and every individual cat we are talking about. So here, when the sentence is beginning with each also, children, now here also the subject that is following each, that is cat, is also singular, and yes, fed, was, the verb is also singular, right? Every car in the parking lot needs to be removed, right? So basically, every car, so the sentence is beginning with every, followed by the subject car, and then the verb that has been used is also singular, right? So basically, the rule says that if the sentence is beginning with each or every, we have to use singular subject as well as singular verb. All right. Okay. So let us go ahead with the sixth rule. Here, when two or more subjects are connected by and, verb is plural. However, if one of the subject is connected by and is negated with no or not, the verb agrees with the previous subject. Okay. Now here, children, I would like to teach you something about the conjunction and. Okay. So when subject 1 is there and subject 2 is there, right? And we have joined these two subjects using the word and, right? Then the verb can be singular also, and the verb can be plural also. Now you must be wondering how and what are the rules about it, right? So if I'm saying Ram and Sham, okay, are going. So here Ram is a separate individual, Sham is a separate individual, and we have joined these two using the conjunction and, right? So Ram and Sham are going. But let us take another example. Bread and butter is a tasty breakfast. Now here, bread, which is subject number 1, butter, which is subject number 2, right? So these two are the part of one breakfast, right? So bread and butter, you do not eat bread separately and butter separately, right? So bread and butter is a tasty breakfast because they are combined together. Let me tell you one thing, that this applies in idioms as well. Okay, let me explain you with examples, right? Let us take the idiom time and died. Okay, here time is subject 1, died is subject 2, and I have joined these two subjects using the conjunction and. Now here the verb that we are going to take is plural because I can separate these two and still the idiom stands. For example, tide, time and tide wait for none. Let us split it. Time waits for none. Tide waits for none. Okay, so here still it is correct. Does time wait for someone? No. Does tide wait for someone? No. So basically, even if we keep them separate, the idiom stands, right? But let us take one more example, children. Here it is, slow and steady wins the race. Now here, if I say slow here is subject 1 and steady here is subject 2, right? And they are both connected with each other using the conjunction and I have used singular verb here. Why? Because if I separate these two subjects, children, the idiom doesn't stand. Slow wins the race. Does it make any sense? No. Steady wins the race. Does it make? No, right? So we have to keep these two together so that the idiom stands. Okay. For example, bread and butter is a tasty breakfast, but bread and butter are kept in refrigerator. When I'm talking about breakfast, it is one breakfast, right? But when I'm talking about being kept in refrigerator, I can keep them separately, right? So you always have to refer to the object in such case because you have to see whether, the subjects can be separated or the subjects cannot be separated, all right? So subject 1, subject 2, if connected using the conjunction, and the verb can be singular also and plural also based on the idea whether they can be separated or cannot be separated. So let us now understand no and the no and nor thing, right? No and not thing, right? So if there are two subjects and in that sentence we are also using not or no, the verb will be according to the subject which is before no and not. All right, let us see example. Lisa and Pamela are two sisters. Lisa and Pamela are two individuals that can be separated. Hence, the verb used is plural, right? She and her friend have arrived here, right? So, she is subject 1, friend is subject 2, and both of them can be separated. So, yes, the verb, plural verb has been used. Only boys and no girls are guilty, right? So here in this sentence we have a word no, right? So the subject which is before no is boys and which is plural. So that's why we have used the verb are over here. Let us see one more example. Only he and not friends, right? So here subject 1 is singular but subject 2 is plural, that is friends. Are you getting me? So only he and not his friends. But the subject which is before not is he and it is singular, hence is used. Subject 1 is singular and the verb has been used according to subject 1. All right. So that's how, if no and not has been used, the verb, the subject which is before no and not, the verb will come according to that subject. So this is how it goes. Let us go ahead with rule number 7. When two or more singular subjects are joined or, nor, either, or, neither, nor, the verb singular. Let me tell you one thing. Let us not talk about correlative conjunction. Let us just talk about or and nor. Okay, single, right? So either the cat or the dog is responsible, right? Cat or the dog is responsible. The word or has come and we are going to use singular verb. Either Peter or David has eaten pineapple. So here both the subjects are singular and if we are joining both the subjects by not using and but we are using or instead, right? So in that case the singular verb will come. Either the red shirt or the blue shirt goes well with these hands, right? So here both the subjects are singular and they are joined using the conjunction or, right? So when we are using the conjunction or and not and, right, then in that case the verb will be, all right. Let us understand rule number 8. When a singular and a plural subject are, okay, that we have already done, I guess. Okay, it's repeated. Okay, so collective nouns are used to convey a sense of togetherness or unanimous action. Take a singular verb. However, when they're used to convey a sense of separation, plural verbs. Example of such nouns: audience, class, committee, crowd, flock, jury, parliament, team, etc. So let us understand that, since childhood, you must have heard one thing, children, that collective noun always takes singular verb, and let me tell you, which is highly incorrect. Collective noun can also take singular verb and also plural verb, right? If the collective noun is portraying togetherness, that the team is working together, singular. But then if the team is not working together and they have difference in opinion, right, so that in that case you're going to use plural verbs. So collective noun can also take singular verbs as well as plural verbs. Let us understand this. The audience was applauding at the end of the performance. Now here the audience are together working to applaud, right? So when the audience is not showing any difference, right, in their opinions by in clapping or applauding for someone, it is singular verb that we have taken. The class was studying diligently for the upcoming exam, right? So here the entire class was studying, right? It is not one student or two students, but the entire class is working together in unanimous, right? So that's how singular verb has been used. The committee have differing opinions on the matter. Now I told you, if the group is not working together and is showing difference in their opinion, then plural verb will be used. And here, when I am saying that they had differing opinions on the matter, they don't have same view on the matter, in that case we have used plural verb over here in the form of have. The committee have, right? So please note that collective noun doesn't only take single verb, it also takes plural verb, right? So this is how it goes. The flock is migrating south for the winter. So the flock is together migrating, right? They are not going here or there, or they don't have difference of opinion, or they don't have difference in actions. So in that case, we're taking singular, right? The jury were unable to reach a unanimous. The jury is a group of judges, right here. But then now what is happening is any decision, because they have different opinion, right? So here, when the jury is comprises of several members and all the members are not working together, or they don't have same views on a particular matter, in that case what we are going to do is we have plural verb, right? So remember, children, collective noun doesn't only take singular, but it also plural verb, right? So let us go ahead with next rule. Rule number 10. A lot of, a group of, a number of collectively take a singular verb when referring to a single entity and a plural when referring to plural entity, right? So let us understand what we are talking about through example here, children. There is a lot of food on the table. Now when I'm talking about food, it is taking singular thing, right? So a lot of food which has to be taken singular verb. That's why is has been used after there. A lot of people are attending the concert. Now here people is plural, right? So plural verb has been after a lot of, right? So a lot of singular subject, singular verb. A lot of plural subject, plural verb. All right, simple. A group of birds. Now a group of birds. Birds here is plural. So what verb is going to come, children? Plural verb, right? So that's how it goes. A number of complainants has, been the number of complaints have it will be have here. Okay, the number of a number of complaints, because number a number of complaints have been received. So it should be have, because complaints here is multiple complaints that have been used, right? So referring to single count. Okay, so single count of complaints, because number of same kind of complaints have been received. That's why. Okay, that's why it has been used has over here and not have. Okay, let us go ahead with next rule, children. Same nouns that are plural in but singular in meaning take same nouns which are plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb. Okay, there are certain words which are always s is used after them, that is news. We cannot say the news, which is samachar. News cannot be called as new, right? So it is news, it is considered plural, but still it takes singular verb, right? The news is spreading quickly, right? So news is information, right? So it will take singular. The wages of a sin is eternal suffering, right? So wages here, it is taking singular verb. Physics is a fascinating subject, maybe in plural or singular, because we're talking about one subject, that's why it was, right? Okay, politics is his passion. Politics, which is s, the subject is carrying s at the end of the word, but still because it is politics is just one field, that's why we have put the verb, right? The mathematics problem is challenging, right? Mathematics is another subject, is another word for subject, and hence whenever we are talking about any subject, we use singular verb, right? Okay. Let us take next rule, children. When a plural noun is preceded by one of or each of, either of, neither of, we are going to use singular. Now let me tell you, whenever the sentence starts with one of, each of, right, maybe the subject can be plural, but the verb will always be. Why? If I'm telling you one of has scolded me, what do I mean by this sentence? I have many teachers, but only one has scolded me, right? So one of my uncles is coming. So I have many uncles, but how many is coming, children? One. So when the sentence is starting with one, it might have plural subject, but the verb used will be singular, right? So one of the boys was absent. So there are many boys in the class, but how many were absent, children? Only one. So that's why singular verb. The quality of the oranges is excellent. So we are not talking about oranges here. We're talking about the quality, right? So the verb has been put according to the word quality and not oranges. Each of the girls is standing, right? So basically, when I have already taken up this rule, sentence starts with each or every, obviously we are going to use singular subject, but here each of the girls, the word girls is plural, do not get confused by it, still it will take singular verb. Either of the books is available for borrowing, right? So the sentence is starting with either, but because the subject is plural, do not get confused, you have to still use singular verb, right? Neither of the books was interesting to read. So basically there were many books, right? But still, you know, neither of them were interesting to read. So maybe when the sentence is beginning with one of or each, either, neither, and in this case also when we have one adjective and one you know, the when we are talking about quality adverb, and when we are, it is oranges, that is subject, right? In that case as well, the subject will come according to the verb will come according to the you know, word that we are talking about, the quality. We are talking about the word quality here, and hence singular verb will be used. All right, so this is rule number 13. If more than one subject is joined with, together with, as well as, the verb agrees with verb's first subject. Children, it is very common when we have two subjects, subject number 1 and subject number 2, right? We join those two subjects using few phrases like with, along with, together with, as well as, no less than. Okay, so when we use such phrases to join two subjects, this verb will always be according to, right? Let us see a few examples. Mike as well as his friends was punished. So here Mike is subject 1, friends is subject 2, but we have used a phrase to join these subjects, and that phrase is as well as. So the verb will come according to the first subject and not the. Next, Sarah together with his sisters is going for vacation. Sarah is first subject and sisters is second subject, but we don't have to look at the second subject in such cases. We just look on to the first subject, and that's why is has come. The dog as well as the cats need to be fed. So here, when I'm talking about the dog, which is subject number 1, cats is subject number 2, but we have used phrase like as well as. Okay, so verb will be put according to subject 1. Okay, I'm repeating together with, together with, along with, right, as well as, no less than, right. So these phrases, when we join two subjects with, then the verb will be according to subject. Okay, the professor along with his students is attending the conference. So the professor, which is subject number 1, students is subject number 2, so verb will come according to subject number. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let us see next rule, children. Here, when parentheses follow the subject, they do not affect subject-verb agreement. Now, what do you mean by parentheses? It is filler subjects, right, children? So maybe I say Rahul, who's wearing red shirt and is standing between, two trees and this and that. So I use filler subjects and then I use a verb, is coming. Okay, so Rahul is coming, and the words that I have used in between are just parentheses or the filler subjects. Do not look on to the filler subjects. Only the main subject and the verb will be connected, and if the main subject is singular, the verb will be singular, and if the main verb is plural, then the plural verb will be used. Let us see this also through few examples. Sarah with her 2 friends is going to the party, right? Here this is just a filler subject, right? So these are not the main subjects about which we're talking. So Sarah is going to the, right? So who is going to the party? Main Sarah. We're talking about Sarah main, right? So that's how. The dog barking loudly is running in circles, right? So we're talking about dog, and usually children, let me tell you, in these cases a subject, main subject is separated through a comma, and then it continues for the parenthesis, the filler subjects, right? John, who is known for his punctuality, right? So who is known for his punctuality is just filler thing, right? So we're just talking about John arrives early. Okay, so the cake, freshly baked, smells delicious, right? So basically freshly baked is just filling the sentence, and cake and smells, the cake smells delicious, right? Delicious. The car parked in the driveway, so we're talking about just the car. Parked in the driveway is just the filler thing, right? So just consider the main subject. Do not talk about, do not consider the filler subjects. Let me give you one more example. The red color cars. Now here the red color is not important, cars is important. The red color cars are less, so red color is not less, but cars are less. So just focus on the main verb, main subject. What I want to say is, right? Okay, in not only but also construction, the verb agrees with the second subject, right, or the last subject. Please understand, I told you in my early slide that do not talk about correlative conjunction, but in this slide we are going to talk about correlative conjunction, right? So what are correlative conjunctions? Correlative conjunctions are the conjunctions that come in pairs, right? Not only but also, either or, neither nor. In such cases, children, the verb agrees with the second or the last subject. Okay, let us see the examples. Not only she but also her sisters. Now here there are 2 subjects, she and sisters. Which is the second subject, children? Sisters, right? So hence verb is used over because the second subject is plural, verb will be plural. Not only the cat but also dog likes to play, right? So here's, we're not even looking at the first subject in such case. We're just concentrating on the second subject. The second subject is singular, and hence the verb will be singular. Not only Tom but also his friends have seen the movie. So here the second subject is friends, which is plural, and hence plural verb has been used. Okay, not only the children but also their parents are excited for the trip. So here both of them are plural, but we don't have to concentrate on first verb, rather just concentrate on second verb, and that's why what is going to be here? Plural verb, because second subject is plural. Not only flowers but also the trees need watering, right? So here both the subjects are plural, and hence we are just looking at the second subject, which is plural, and hence plural verb has been. Okay, let us focus on rule number 16. When the relative pronoun is the subject, the verb agrees with the antecedent. Now here, I, who am your teacher, am here to help you, right? So basically, relative pronoun is, the question words which are used as conjunction, right? So here, what is happening is, I is the main subject. Children, we have already discussed this rule. Concentrate only on the main verb. Here, take who am your teacher as relative pronoun or is as a filler subject, but they are not the main subject about which the sentence or the object is talking about, right? So in that case, concentrate just on the main subject and not anything that has been used in the middle of the sentence, right? So I, who am your teacher, am here to help you. So I am here to help you. The middle part is just filling the sentence. He who is my neighbor often lends me his tool, right? So he is singular and the word lends here is singular, and I have already told you, do not concentrate on relative pronoun and that has been used in the middle of the sentence. Rather just concentrate on the main verb and the main subject, right? The cat, which is my pet, loves to chase mice. The cat is our main subject. Rest is just filling the sentence, and though here relative pronouns have been used, do not get confused by relative pronouns or any other parenthesis or any other filler stuff, right? Just concentrate on the main verb and the main subject, right? The students who are in the advanced class are studying for the exam, right? So the students here is plural and rest is filling the subject, filling the sentence, and are is used according to the student. Okay, so this is how it is being used. Let us focus on the next rule. When many n precedes a noun, both the noun and the verb should be in singular subject. Please understand this because many students make mistakes these kind of sentences. Many a student is studying for the exam, right? Many a students is incorrect, which is seen many a times, right? So many if the sentence is saying, and the subject will be singular, right? And then verb also is singular. Many an opportunity has been, okay, n or a, right, which denotes singular, right? A also denotes singular, and also denotes singular. Many a bird sings in the morning. Many an artist has painted this landscape, right? So if the sentence is beginning from many a or many an, the subject is going to be singular and hence the verb also is going to be singular. Please note that, right? Many a child dreams of becoming a seer, right? So next rule is plural verbs are used after pairs, noun like trousers, scissors, glasses, pants. So they all will be singular, right? So plural. Here are the scissors. Scissors are pairs of two parts of scissors, hence plural verb will be used. These trousers need altering, right? So trousers have two parts and hence plural verb will be used. Your new glasses look stylish. Glasses have two parts and hence we are going to take them as plural. The pliers are in the toolbox, the tool which is used for page classes and all that. So it has two parts, right? So that's how when the object has two parts, plural verb will be used. Basically, the binoculars are essential for bird watching. The binoculars has two parts and hence plural verb is going to be used, right? So that is also should be clear. The pants have two parts and hence it is going are is going to be used. When two numbers are joined by an, the verb can be either singular or plural, right? This we have already talked, children. We have to concentrate on plural thing. Remember I told you about bread and butter, which can be bread and butter is tasty breakfast. Bread and butter are kept in refrigerator. Here we have to concentrate on the object, whether the object is separating the two or whether the object is combining the two. 6 and 2 makes makes 8, right? Here 8 together, okay, it is combining it, so hence it is singular. 9 and 3 equals 12, so it is combining again, and hence when we are combining something and we are not separating something, the object is aiming to combine something rather than separating something. In that case, we are going to use, here we singular verb will be used, right? 7 and 1 results in 8, right? So basically results, right? 10 and 5 total 14, total 14, 15, and yes, 12 and 6 make 18, right? So here, and 2, 12 and 6, 18, and here makes 18 has been make 18 has been used because we are talking about making something, combining something and making something. So when we make something, we use two different things. That's why that idea has been used over here, and hence plural verb has been used, right? So when indicating the quality, a singular verb is used, and when indicating a number, a plural verb is used. Half of the apple is rotten. Here, indicating a quantity is singular, and when indicating a number, it is when we are indicating quantity, half, some, right? Okay, and then little. These are indicating qualities, right? When quantity is indicated, estimated quantity is indicated, then singular will be used, and when numbers are used, it is plural, right? 5 apples are, okay, then you can say half apple is rotten, right? So when we use estimated quantity, singular verb will be used, and when we use numbers, plural verb will be used, right? So that's how it goes. Okay. Certain nouns such as advice, furniture, hair, and trouble are always used in singular form. Like advice, maybe you providing pieces of advice. So like if you're using pieces of advice, then it will be plural. But if you're using simple advice, because it is not countable, you're going to use it as singular verb, right? Furniture, it is used as singular. Hair is used as singular, and trouble is used as singular. So here the advice she gave was helpful, not were, right? So his furniture is modern and stylish. Maybe we're talking about pieces of furniture, right? But then the furniture altogether has been taken, and it takes singular verb. I have a lot of hair on my head. So children, hair is one thing that is confused many a times. It can be taken plural also and singular. My hair are black, right? And I have lot of, when I'm talking about quantity of it, then it is plural, right? So that's how it goes. Avoid using double superlatives and double comparatives. Yeah, so do not use like I am most cleverer, okay, I'm cleverer than him. So don't use most and very with already superlative degrees, okay, or comparative degrees. Now what are comparative degrees and what are superlative degrees, children? Comparative degrees are when you compare two things. Superlative degrees are when you compare many, right? And many a times what students do is you use very or more or most with comparative or superlative. You are not supposed to do that, right? He is more clever. Wrong, he's cleverer. Mount Everest is the most highest peak in the world. Mount Everest is the highest peak, right? So children, this is all we have in this module, in this video. Subject verb agreement, right? There are rules that I have shared of subject verb agreement with you all. Hope it